And then recording, and we're live. Good morning, everyone. I'm Albert, CEO of Bitcoin Startup Lab. Welcome to the Bitcoin Hackathon. This is a Bitcoin ecosystem-wide event where multiple communities, technologies, and champions have come together to help support, encourage, and reward new builders on Bitcoin with innovative ideas. This show is brought to you by the Bitcoin Startup Lab. We're a top Kickstarter on Bitcoin. We help you turn your ideas into investment-worthy startups on Bitcoin. And a big shout out to our media partners. The first is BTC Inc. They're the parent company of Bitcoin Magazine. They're a top media on Bitcoin. And our second media partner, Crypto Slate, a crypto agnostic platform that brings the latest happenings of Bitcoin to the rest of the crypto world. And again, a big thank you to all the teams and all the guest speakers that have come together to make this Bitcoin Olympics possible and accelerate the advent of the Bitcoin economy. Today, now I'm joined by Sam Golden. He's representing Rootstock with some amazing news for everybody who's attending the hackathon. So hi, Sam. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Albert. Amazing to be here. Thank you so much. You put together a star-studded list of sponsors and contributors to the Bitcoin Olympics. So super excited about hearing some of the projects and talking a little bit about what can be built on Rootstock as well.
Super. And just so the audience knows, Rootstock is one of the biggest prize sponsors for this Bitcoin Olympics, and also sponsorship support last time. There's going to be a lot of insanely awesome projects built by super talented builders coming into space now. But there are some things that are probably better built now than later, and definitely some things that have advantages building on Rootstock. Can we sort of get like a high level overview of what, I mean, we already know that Sovereign, for example, is built on Rootstock, which, as I understand it, it's the largest DeFi right now on Bitcoin at over 50 million TVL, right? But in addition to that, what else? What other like, what is Rootstock made for? Can like sort of, let's go from a high level, and then we'll go down to categories, and then maybe we can share some specific examples with previous winners with the audience. Thanks.
Yeah, so like back in 2018, when Rootstock went live on mainnet, the goal was really to expand the functionalities of Bitcoin from just a store of value to a fully decentralized financial system. So DeFi and like financial services were always at the heart of what Rootstock was about. And that's because the founders all grew up in Argentina when the country was going through this intense kind of financial pressure with governments restricting capital controls, with inflation at all times high, which is still happening now. Inflation in Argentina last year was 100% pretty much. So they were basically looking at how to create a new decentralized financial system that didn't rely on intermediaries, middlemen, governments, or other third parties to be able to free people from the centralized financial system. So DeFi has always really been the heart of Rootstock, and we've kind of grown to be known as this home of DeFi on Bitcoin. So as you mentioned, Sovereign, one of the largest apps built on Rootstock, focused on a number of different financial instruments. So 0% Bitcoin-backed loans, decentralized exchange, staking, yields. Sovereign do lots of different stuff. And they recently launched as well a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin as well, Dollar, which is pretty incredible. So DeFi is really our sweet spot. There are other areas that people build on top of Rootstock. Because we are EVM compatible, basically anything you build on Ethereum, you can build on Rootstock, but then harness that security of Bitcoin in the background as well. A lot of the apps that we built are designed to kind of address real problems in places across the world, like Argentina. So a lot of like lending, sending, borrowing, payments. So anything that you might have seen in centralized finance, we are seeing being built on Rootstock. But it's really early days, like you talked about. There's a load of stuff that hasn't been built yet. And I think that's where there's this really big opportunity. I can talk a little bit about some of the themes that we've been looking at as a blockchain as well, to like kind of encourage to build.
Maybe I jump in here because that was a lot of information. So I really like this idea that you guys are really focused on DeFi, because this is a huge market, right? Just last year alone, the credit lending market was what, 200 to $300 trillion. And like more or less any category of finance is in the trillions of dollars, right? Globally. So this is Rootstock has become the home, and I really like the focus positioning, right? That you guys are really raising the flag to become a full grown DeFi ecosystem. So along those lines, what are some of the things what else can be built right now, right? Because you guys have sovereign and like launching a stable coin. Is it, you said it was a USD backed stable coin? Is that correct?
It's Bitcoin backed, pegged to the
Bitcoin
US.
backed. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. So okay. So this is another one of those primitives that unlock a whole genre of DeFi, right? I mean, it's sort of like you have layer upon layer upon layer of DeFi products that work together. So future innovators can build even more sophisticated things. So maybe you could.
Yeah, I think like people trying to harness some of the tokens that exist in the Rootstock ecosystem for new projects, stablecoins being a great example, is a really nice place to start. A story I like to tell often is another protocol launched on Rootstock called Money on Chain. They also offer a Bitcoin collateralized stablecoin. It's pegged to the US dollar. You probably remember early in the year, there was loads of kind of turmoil in the US banking system, and a number of the big stable coins pegged to the US dollar lost that peg against the dollar. Money on Chain's dollar on chain stablecoin, which is built on Rootstock, was the only stablecoin not to lose its peg against the dollar during that time. And that's because it's fully decentralized and over collateralized by Bitcoin. So every $1 of dollar on chain has $18 of Bitcoin backing it. So you basically got loads of protection against volatility there. And it means that if people are using that stablecoin, it's fully decentralized. The dApp itself has been launched on IPFS, so that isn't even being run on a server by an individual anymore. People can use that stablecoin to build products. It could be anything from like a retail product to a saving product to a lending product. Any app inside Rootstock could be using dollar on chain as part of whatever product is being built. So I think that's really cool.
Wow. So this is huge. So if I'm a contestant, I could use the Rootstock stablecoin backed by Bitcoin and then pegged to the US dollar.
Exactly.
That's huge. So this is one category. What are some of the other exciting categories that you'd encourage contestants or builders, innovators to build with to win those prizes?
I think like one of the things that's really interesting to me, and I don't know how much it's been explored in DeFi in general yet, is the world of insurance. Obviously insurance, like I think one of the worst things about insurance is you never expect you're actually going to get your policy paid. You're paying into a policy and then
Yeah, that's like that's a big scam by a big company.
Exactly. I think there was a Twitter like meme a few days ago that was like, what's the biggest scam that's just become normal now? And the amount of people replying just saying insurance was like insane. I think there's a huge opportunity using smart contracts to make fairer, more flexible, freer insurance policies. I'm not technical. I don't know how that would work, but I believe there's a big opportunity there. And it's something I don't know if you've seen that out, but I've not seen a lot of people trying to build insurance solutions, particularly on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I've seen the beginnings of it, and maybe we should. I'll definitely tell the people that are trying to build insurance that Rootstock is a good place to try that. Insurance is another one of those pillars, right? If we truly want a decentralized and an alternative to the financial system we have today, insurance is definitely another one of those pillars that we have to cross the bridge on, right? So what better chance than this hackathon? I believe Rootstock has put up $25,000 prizes. You guys wanted platinum sponsors, and we're also happy to say that Sora Ventures put up $50,000 as a Bitcoin tech agnostic prize. So winners, the top teams of the Rootstock prize could go to the final round with a $50,000 agnostic prize. So it's like double jeopardy, but also double the reward if you guys do something really innovative.
Incredible. I know we talked about this before as well, but and that like it obviously, like future rounds of funding, you can raise a lot more, but 50K, you can do so much with 50K to actually get a product off the ground, have something in your hands you can show to future investors and say, this is what I built with this limited capital. If you're willing to support me on the next journey, part of my journey, you can see some incredible stuff.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible. I mean, it could definitely, in the hands of the like someone who really wants to create something valuable for society through, say, Rootstock and Bitcoin, it could definitely get them to pre-seed funding, right, and get that a few $100,000. So this prize pool this time is quite significant for serious builders. And again, like it's I'd like to touch on the point where Rootstock is Ethereum EVM compatible. So if you're a developer from Ethereum, you can take your knowledge and come to Bitcoin. I think this is one of the biggest opportunities right now in Bitcoin is people who've gone through the gauntlet on Ethereum and they have the knowledge. And if you bring it to Bitcoin, you have a massive knowledge arbitrage opportunity, right? And this is also why Soar Ventures, who made their fortune on the Ethereum side, was happy to put up a $50,000 prize pool because they want to attract more Ethereum people to come build on Bitcoin, right? So this is a pretty compelling case that you guys have this compatibility there. Now, what are some other exciting opportunities or categories that you would encourage people to explore? Because we already have a few really awesome ones. Like one, like if the sky's the limit with stable coins. The second one is insurance, which is a massive one. What other ones would you want to encourage people to try out at this hackathon?
Yeah, I think there's like thinking back to my like past experience working with like traditional VCs, one thing that no one's really cracked now, and I think in crypto we've got the closest to, is building some kind of like global Venmo, global Cash App where money and remittances are just simple and seamless. Obviously, you've got stuff like Lightning Network that's doing amazing work there, but I think there's a way to build a new remittances solution. It's something that one of the creators of Rootstock talks about a lot. He was sending money to one of his kids working abroad, and every time he was transferring money, he was paying stupid fees. This is an old story by now, especially for people working in crypto. But I think really simple user interfaces is the challenge that stops mass adoption. So that's why I talk about this like global Cash App. It's great there's ways to send money abroad with 0 to minimal fees. Let's bring that to the masses. And I think in this competition, there's an opportunity for someone to build that global Venmo.
Yeah, I mean, remittance is a huge market, right? And for the scope of the competition, you just have to do it between just make it work, and you even focus just on 2 countries or something, or 2 people, and that's a proof of concept. So that's also like a really good route to go. That's it's a massive market, right? Especially nowadays where so much of every country's population is working in another country, right? Yeah. So there's like so many opportunities for us to like send money home or vice versa, right? So this is like and it's just like this is another industry that's dominated by BitCo, and so they take advantage of everyone. But no more, right? Especially if someone at this hackathon like takes it to the next level, right, and makes it easy for remittance to happen on Bitcoin.
I think it even expands from just remittances like peer-to-peer to stuff like global payroll. Like people more often working completely decentralized, working across the world for organizations. The traditional like payroll system and how we pay salaries is like broken for this new world we live in where everyone is working remotely. There's a huge opportunity, whether it's using Rootstock or another Bitcoin technology, to build some kind of payroll system as well. So again, that's just another area I think people should look at. And one thing I wanted to touch on, Albert, as well, and I'm not sure how much time we have, is just a few examples.
10 minutes left, or 8 minutes, yeah.
8 minutes, cool. I can cover this quickly. So we ran a hackathon.
The winners.
Quarter, right? Yes. I was going to talk about some of the winners. So we had $25,000 of prizes for some ideathon entrants. So they just submitted ideas, and then the hackathon building the prototypes as well. We awarded those winners and announced them yesterday. There's some cool projects in there. Maybe someone can take inspiration from this. A company called Asami, who won 2nd place in the hackathon. Their whole concept is Noster ads. So working with big influencers to harness Noster as an advertising platform. How you feel about advertising? Like, I know some people hate it and hope that it stays out of the future of Web3, but whether you like it or hate it, the tech they've built is pretty incredible for like reaching the right people and helping people monetize the content they create on whatever channel it is. So I thought that was super cool. And another company, Wui, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, created proof of donation NFTs on Rootstock. So giving businesses, NGOs and streamers a way of having real social change. So people are able to donate through NFTs. So
Yeah,
really cool way. Yeah.
I like to click on the Nostr and advertising. Look, hey, look, in the spirit of the Bitcoin ethos, it's permissionless, guys. It's permissionless, probably. So like none of this like hard stance on like no, like absolutely no advertising. Some people make their money off advertisements, right? A lot of creators have to make money from these advertisements, and that's advertisements helps the economy goes around. I mean, the solution is not about zero advertisements. The solution is more about, hey, how can I control my settings, right? So I can opt in or opt out. Again, like supporting that permissionless free economy, like free innovation type of spirit. So yeah, we support that as well, and I think Nostr is a brilliant way to combine. They're sort of like agnostic technology, right? That could be combined with, for example, Rootstock, right? And that's really amazing, right? So that doing something there with new technology is definitely novel, because one of our judging criteria is that it has to be novel, right? It could be on the surface, you could be in the same category, like lending, borrowing, or in this case, advertisement is fine, but there has to be like some novel twist to it. So thank you for those two winners. And what else? What other kind of winners do you guys see?
Yeah, I think like another really interesting example from like some of the ideas that were submitted in the ideathon phase. We had like a self-custodial debit card. So combining, as you've seen with other people doing, but the way they did it was interesting because it was focused on Latin American consumers. It's a crypto debit card. It uses Rootstock. So people have an app where they can manage all of their payments. And then the stable coins we talked about before are basically on-ramped and off-ramped automatically. So people can pay for purchases using a self-custodial debit card, which I thought was really cool. The company's called Tukey, and they came first in the ideathon stage. So they won $3,000, and they also have the opportunity now.
Tuki.
Tuki.
Oh, TUK. Oh, okay. No, that's a really good one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because we talked about inflation before, and that was their kind of like niche, is like in some countries in Latin America, like Argentina, you're restricted from the amount of real US dollars you hold in a bank account. Those restrictions aren't the same for stable coins. So many people, when they get paid in Argentinian pesos, they convert it to a stable coin to protect against inflation. And they kind of combine that with the fact that you still want to be able to spend that money as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at the prize pool this time, and it looks like the way it's broken down is Rootstock. You guys have 5 top prizes. It goes from 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000, 6,000, and then 10,000. Yeah, I mean, like these prizes could definitely be a game changer for anybody who wants to seriously launch a business. I mean, if in certain countries, this kind of prize pool can definitely get you to pre-seed money. And in addition to this, again, the winners, the top teams get to compete in the final round, and there's a $50,000 prize pool. That is 2 $5,000 prizes, one $10,000, and one $30,000 prize. So this yeah, we want to make this hackathon meaningful for everybody. Okay, we got a couple of minutes left here. How do you want to use them?
I guess just to add to that, Albert, and I know you can probably talk a bit about this as well. This is like for people who choose to build on Bitcoin, this is kind of the beginning of the journey. So competing in the Bitcoin Olympics, winning these first prizes, that isn't the end of the level of support that organizations like IOV Labs and Bitcoin Startup Lab will offer you. We've actually announced a £2.5 million grant program to offer further funding to companies that choose to build using Rootstock. And I know, Albert, you do a lot of the same kind of things, actually helping people accelerate and turn their ideas into.
No, that's very significant money, because I forgot to mention prize winner of a Rootstock prize is also automatically eligible to be considered for the grant, right? And that's roughly another $25,000, which will definitely get you across the finish line if you know, or at least to the next stage of your startup pre-seed, a few $100,000 if you know how to use it. Now, how do you know how to use this money? Well, you come to the Bitcoin Startup Lab, right? It's a 3-month program. You pay nothing up front, right? It's in exchange for equity tokens on the backside. But right, we have an entire science of how you can use very little money to get very, very far on your startup and get at the end of the pipeline of 3 months. You go to a demo day. It's an internal demo day, but all the top Bitcoin accelerators are there, right? And they give you anywhere between $100,000 to $250,000. So if you win any of these prizes, you're also eligible for an interview for the Bitcoin Startup Lab. It's highly selective, but at least it gets you in the race, right? So we can't guarantee that you get in, but we guarantee that we'll talk to you and take a look and consider it. Yeah. So there's like Sam said, we have support all around, right? And also people watching this video, this will be in the Discord. So if you sign up at BTC Startup Lab, sign up in the Rootstock section, you'll see some resources on how to get started and some other links, right, to reach out to Rootstock people. In addition, we're going to have office hours by Rootstock tech gurus, right? And they're going to help you every step of the way. And then the really exciting thing about this hackathon is that our platform, the Bitcoin Olympics, we take 0 fees for operations and 0 fees for marketing. So 100% of the prizes go 100% undiluted from Rootstock, the prize donors, to the winners, right? So but what we do ask, right, if you become a contestant and you want to use Rootstock, that you go and retweet this, or you retweet this, you repost it, you bring out more friends, right? Because we do have a rule, since this time the prize pool is so large, we do have a rule where for Rootstock, every 50 contestants that are active activates 1/3 of the prize pool. So if there's 50 contestants, that top prize $10,000, 3,333 is unlocked. If we have 100 people competing, active contestants on Rootstock, then it goes to 6,666. And then once we get to 150, then the full 10,000 is unlocked. Right. So this is why it's imperative to help co-market, right? If you're a contestant, bring on your friends. Look up your college friend. Look up that person that you think is a genius. Do the hackathon with them, right? Because the prizes are 100% undiluted. We don't take anything for market. So do your part. Let's build the Bitcoin economy together. Sam, do you have any last encouraging words for the founders before we jump here?
I think you summed it up really well, Albert. And we've talked about this before, but there's never been a better time to start building on Bitcoin. We're in that part of the market where most of the general public aren't paying attention. We're running up to that next bull market. This is the time to start building something. So when that hits, you get all the spotlight on you, and it's not a half-baked idea. It's a fully fledged product that's had funding, gone through the Bitcoin Startup Lab, perhaps been introduced into future investors and started building a proper business off the back of what you've done. So just go out there, get it. Join the Rootstock Discord if you've got any questions about Rootstock specifically. I'll see you guys in the Bitcoin Olympics Discord as well. We've got our dev portal. As Albert mentioned, there's going to be loads of different mentors from Rootstock joining as well to support you guys building there. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Sam. Yeah, and what better note to end this on? Yes, the one master is time. Timing right now is perfect for you to build, because the people that build in the bear market, it's been historically shown that when the bull market hits, guess who gets all the funding? Guess who gets all the users, right? Now is the time to prepare when there's about 200 days left for the Bitcoin halving. And this is going to be a massive halving this time. Thank you, Sam. Thanks so much for joining us.
No worries. Thanks, Albert. Super cool. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks, everybody.
Looking forward to next time.
Yeah, for sure. Ciao.
Ciao.